Hey y'all, good morning. So, I know right now that it's in the wee hours of the morning. You don't have to get up yet. I'm just braiding your hair. I'm doing a live, so rest. And so, instead of having you watch me, because I'm prepping some stuff for my day, it went out. You know what? I've done this before so many times with my videos, and I've done things to let you see like fish and stuff like that. I'm gonna have to just do a video, a reel, just for you all. But while I'm getting ready with my day, I know that you are, if you're seeing this in real time, you are doing some type of prep for your day. You're either going to work out, you're working out, you're going to do your hair, you're doing your children's hair. You know, you're doing some prep for your day. So that's what I'm doing. That's why you're not seeing me. But let's get into it. Let's talk about what's going on. So we're coming down, we're winding down towards the Christmas celebration, and we're winding down towards the New Year's, the end of the year. I hope you did the exercises I talked about really thinking about what you've accomplished, what more you wanted to accomplish. I hope you've thought about having those conversations with the people. Oh, wow. Now look, it just completely went out. Oop, y'all can't see that. No, no. Um, really thinking about the things that you wanted to achieve this year that maybe you haven't gotten to. First thing I want to tell you is the year's not over. It's never over till it's over, as they say. The fat lady ain't came out and sang nothing. Um, and I really feel like this isn't the time to necessarily beat yourself up and talk about why you didn't accomplish it. I think this is more the time to deal with what else you do want to accomplish. You know that um, the next thing that's going to come up is the one with me for 6 months. If you have the next 6 months and you're just focused on yourself, what are some of the things that you want to get done? If you can just make that real easy list, you can do top 5, you can do top 20. Like, I know everybody's has different goals at different points in their life that they want to achieve things. And so I definitely encourage you to write that list down and then be prepared, because I'm going to come to you with what platform you're going to come on with me. You'll be able to access me. You'll be able to access the group that's a part of that run. And you'll also be able to. Oh, I don't like this, y'all. I should have made a B roll. Should have made a B roll. If you don't know what a B roll is, it just would have been running a video specifically already for this. So I'll have something for you, because it is going to be mornings. Like I say, I'm I'm prepping for the day. I'm gonna need to talk to you, but maybe you don't need to necessarily see me in that moment. And this will also turn at some point. If you do prefer podcasting, it'll also go into podcasting, so you can just listen to it. But there are a lot of people, I'm gonna be honest with you all, I'll watch a video and I don't even need to see the video. I'll just run the audio from a Facebook Live. You know, I'm really interested in what the person is talking about, but I just don't need to see the person just walking around, or just looking at me in the camera. I know what you look like already. But okay. I'm sorry, I'm still a little bit all over the place. Yes, I'm gonna have the series dealing with death. And excuse my French, it's a motherfucker. Like, bro, this stuff creeps up on you at any given second. You think you okay, and you get to doing something and you just not. Just freaking not. I did see a post though earlier today about a person talking about they call Alzheimer's the longest goodbye. Anyone that is dealing with family members that have Alzheimer's. My family's not dealing with anyone with that right now, but we have experienced it. Ooh, don't let nobody say it to you like that. The longest goodbye, and don't you get to decide how you want to approach things in life. You can't control life, but you can control how you view it and how you approach it. Don't approach it like that. Don't think about Alzheimer's the longest goodbye. First of all, unless somebody has a different story, y'all can let me know. I didn't experience once we were told that our family members, we had two, dealing with Alzheimer's, that this was the day of death. Like no one gave us a date. So that's the first thing. So unless that's something your doctor gave your family or something, that's the first thing. The longest goodbye. That's horrible. Like you have to take a moment and understand that yes, this person is having some issues with memory. This person is having some issues with recognition and losing track of time. But this person woke up this morning and is here. And how I embrace it, how I encourage you to embrace it, I have a new niece here, the newest niece here. She is still very much an infant. When a new baby comes into your life, you don't know that baby's personality. You don't know what that baby's likes and dislikes are. You don't know if that's going to be a calm, cool, collected baby or if the baby's going to be nervous. And some of the tidbits I'm giving you too is things that I've learned as a child care provider. So you can view it all the same way. I didn't know, I met, people would call me and ask me to keep their kids. And you don't know what type of child you're going to entertain or babysit for until, you meet the child, and you still don't know off bat because, you don't know anybody the first time you meet them. A new baby comes in the world and they all come with their own special little personalities. A lot of them can't talk. You know, I say that hesitantly because babies communicate, like everything else communicates. Y'all. I don't know. Y'all might be just looking at the wall. I don't like having to keep stopping doing this. So I apologize. I should have. I've never done it like this before. I've always ran a video, but I don't trust, that Facebook might decide to take my stuff down because I'm doing some other video. Y'all usually watch those that have done this with me for a while. Y'all usually get the fish tank right now. I need to get me one myself, and y'all can look at my fish tank. But because you don't know what type of personality you're going to get, and that's what's talking about communication. So that's why I hesitated to say can't talk, because I mean, babies communicate. At least I understand their needs. People, I can understand your needs, whether you speak English or not. But babies can't essentially come out and talk how we're talking right now, right? Okay. How do we then meet their needs? How many babies have you guys interacted with and you still get great smiles from and snuggles and hugs and, they nestle down and all that? That's how you need to be looking at your Alzheimer's person with benefits. Because the person that you know personally that's dealing with Alzheimer's is someone that you loved. And that if you're actually interacting with them, I would hope they loved you back. I would hope that it was a good relationship. I hope that you're not having to care for a person who has Alzheimer's by default. I hope, because that's really hard to have to take care of someone who didn't meet your needs as the time that they were supposed to. But regardless, the way to view that is that the person woke up that morning and just don't look for anything more than what you get in the day and enjoy the day. I don't come and interact with my niece, expecting her to do anything more than what she's planning to do that day. Is today she gonna cool? Is today she gonna smile? Is today she's gonna reach for me? Uh-oh. Hold on. I'm in the kids' room getting up the birthday girl situation. And if you come at your person that's dealing with Alzheimer's with the same thought pattern, then all it's going to end up happening is that you're just going to enjoy them. And that's all you can do. That's all you can do is just enjoy what you get. This way, what ends up happening is that you start to let go of, do they recognize me? There's so many things online. The one that I saw online that said the longest goodbye, the dad is in, it looks like hospice. And the woman comes in to say he's going to be a grandpa. Now he's in full Alzheimer's. You know, they captioned it with the longest goodbye and made it, you when you say that, that's why I don't want you to say that. It puts you in that mind space of, this could be the last second. That's not how you can enjoy a person. So they're saying, he says, she comes in and she says, I'm pregnant. And he begins to weep, and he talks about holding a little one, and he talks about being a father again and a grandpa. That's really all we can ask for in life. You could something can happen to you today and you could lose your mind. People losing their minds a lot every day, every different situation. Moments of temporary insanity and everything else. Don't let someone else's narrative rob you of the joys of spending time with the person. I did have a neighbor a few years back. His mother has passed. And this was a neighbor that I'd had as a child. Actually, my first little kiss, which is so cute, which wasn't a real kiss, but whatever. So he was older than me, and so I knew his people, and they knew my people, like all the way back to my grandparents, my mother, my siblings, and so I'm on the bus and hugged him. How you doing? How's everybody? He said, my mom. He said, mom's got Alzheimer's. I'm like, oh my god. We were riding, we're talking. He was like, it's so hard. He was like, she's getting out the house because she's wandering. She's trying to go places, and she's leaving the stove on, and she's doing all these things. Oh, that just hit me. Maybe I do need to do a segment that helps a lot of my young people understand how to take care of the elders. Okay. Note to self. So I was like, wow, I'm sorry to hear that. I gave him a big hug. He was like in the doctors. He's telling us nothing they can do. And now somebody's got to be there all the time with her. He said, and it's just so hard. Now, this is a woman who is the queen in her household. This is a woman who's cooking when I'm a young person and cleaning, who is running children, and as I got older, running grandchildren. So, yes, I completely understood for him to see her in this state of confusion, how hard it was. I'm going to give him the same, I'm going to tell him the same thing I told myself. I'm going to tell him the same thing. I'm going to tell y'all the same thing I told him. Take moments and just enjoy what they bring. Enjoy what they bring. I know she getting out. I know she's escaping the house. Okay, let's make it a game. And let's take her out for walks. Ask her where she's going. Don't take it personal, because he said that too. He said, she don't remember me. I said, you know what? Love never dies and love never forgets. I said, she might not know your face in the moment. I said, but does she have moments? He said, yes. She has moments she's hugging me and kissing. Right. Don't miss out on these wonderful moments that this person is still here, because you are trying to focus on, do they remember me, and are they going to leave something on? I don't do that with children. When I'm keeping children and doing things with young children or babies or things like that, I'm not trying to figure out what they know, and I'm not doing all that. I'm just enjoying them. Some kids I've kept are the quietest, calmest kids you'd ever want to see. I can take them anywhere. I can take them to work with me. I can take them to a board meeting. I just calm and quiet. Some kids are the loudest, most rambunctious, most got to be into something busy and moving. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy it and act appropriately. I told him, you know what? And you so focused on locking her in the house. Why aren't you taking her? Why don't you first of all ask her where she's trying to go? Is she going to a restaurant? Is she going to her job? Alzheimer's, and you can really get into it, but Alzheimer's a lot of times they get stuck in time, in a moment, in a place. She might be trying to go to a restaurant she took you to as a kid. And when she says it to you, you can drive her now. This is how we prepare for death. Okay, I feel it coming up. I'm not gonna cry. Ooh, it's the only way to prepare for death is life. And I've said this before, and I did this again. I've told you that before. The deaths that, uh-oh, the deaths that I'm dealing with right now, I didn't do that. I didn't take my own advice. And when I tell you those are the hardest moments when it comes back over me that the time is gone. I don't have that anymore. I cannot. The hardest part is not being able to hug and kiss whatever or whoever you miss. That is, oh my God. I think that is the hardest part. If we could call heaven, if we could visit our passed on loved ones, if we could just hug them one more time, whew, that's hard. That's what makes it when that reality sets in. The mind is a powerful thing. The mind protects you so well, even to your detriment. Your mind will make you forget that someone is even not here anymore because you'll just tell yourself like, no, they're still there. You'll block it out. But that's how you combat death. That's how you. Unfortunately, a lot of places in the world, there are a lot of entities that have um, have domain over what you see and hear. You have to actively choose what you want programmed into you. Ooh, and I'm gonna tell y'all again, I started a new Facebook page, baby. Start a new Facebook page. I haven't started a new Instagram and all them other things, but I started a new Facebook page. And why I'm telling you to do that, because the person that you were when you made your first Facebook is not the person you are now. It's not what you need to be fed. And I've seen over the years, I can name like maybe three people on my one hand that have publicly said on Facebook, like, I'm getting off of here because it's just too much, and the feeds and the information, and I never started a new Facebook page, so I didn't know this. Starting a new Facebook page, because the algorithms, our phones, everything is connected for marketing. So whatever you look at, they're gonna show you more of, right? So now your Facebook page is set up however it's set up. But when I tell you what I have on this page, the other page is completely different. The other page, it feeds my soul. Because when I started that page, I sat down and I said, okay, in that moment, I was looking for things that were positive and healing. And when I originally started this page, it was years ago. I just started it for work. I didn't even start it because I wanted, anything specific. I just had to have one for work. I was so against Facebook and people being able to access me in those moments. Right. The new page, the stories, I think it has something to do with two. The new page too. Also, I think it's because, no offense, because I love the people on my Facebook right now that we're talking, but it's something about having all the stories come back to back to back to back to back with the same theme. This Facebook is people I've known over the years. So these are people that I've known, people that I've met, people that I've worked with. And so I get a lot of different, whatever opinion they feeling in the day. But my Facebook page is more dedicated to happiness. So I definitely encourage you to at least have two. The other thing is that, okay, so we talked about we're doing the 6 months. Run with me. I hope that I want to do a rant because I've really been mad for a minute, but I don't have that energy at 4, 5 something in the morning. At 4, 5 something in the morning, it's just pure creation, just me and the creator, what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to achieve, who I'm trying to become. It's important that you become the best version of yourself. And I say this, I've been saying this forever. I haven't been the best version of me, and you probably ain't been the best version of you. You might be close. Might even be closer than I am. But why it's important is because there are at least 5 to 10 people watching you that you don't even really notice, that you don't even realize are watching you. And they're watching you so intently that they're mimicking you, and they're going to mimic you. And if you aren't the person, well, first, I don't know, you have to figure out what resonates with you. Some people are not on the self journey yet where they can understand how important their mini inner person is, and how much when you do things that make you unhappy or put you in situations that make you have to question what you're doing, how you also end up wrestling with the inner part of yourself. Some people don't understand that, or are not that in tune with self. And if that is you, then think about the little people watching you. Why do I always go back to little people? Because that's part of my purpose. A young person, or I learned very early on in my life, that I'll fight for family. I'll fight for a lot of things. And I'll change for family. But the youngest one in the family, or the one that needs me the most, is going to make me move the fastest. So you need to figure that out for yourself. It's a saying that you're only as good as you're only as good of a parent as your most unhappy child. I think is how it's said. I keep losing this. Boy, it's frustrating. So if you know that if one of your children, and you might not have kids yet, you might just be a young person, you might be an auntie, an uncle, a granddad, whatever. It doesn't matter what, um, who you are in the spectrum of the family. But if you know that there is a young person watching you, do you do things in a manner that you wouldn't be embarrassed with them? Because you got to have some type of barometer. And you got to have some type of goal. I say that because if you don't, then you just out here wilding. And you're going to get caught up. And something bad is going to happen. Because that's what happens when you're out wilding. That's what happens when you get in the street. You don't see people that have been in the street doing a whole bunch of crazy shit sitting around. You don't even see them at my age. Sitting around talking about, yeah, I was doing this and doing this last week. No. Mm-mm. That's not how that go. If they done made it to my age and they still talking like that, they ain't got too much more to go. God had a real special purpose for them, and they still ain't done it. But most of the time, the streets eat everybody up. And let's say you're not in the streets. Let's say, you just working your 9 to 5 job. You're not really doing too much wrong. But you're still not living up to your best. I don't understand. I don't know what nobody's supposed to do with that. Took me a long time to understand my purpose and understand why I'm here. And you still might not know your purpose, so I'm going to teach y'all that too. But we're not finna get into do you understand your purpose right now. We're getting into, regardless of what your purpose is or is not, if you're not doing and trying to be the best version of yourself, if you're not working out, if you're not intentionally eating. I went to the doctor. I can't sit with no more doctors telling me, you know, talking about my weight loss or talking about, I just don't want to have these come. Why did this come loose? Why are these coming loose? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm doing my hair for baby girl here. Before my mama come in here and do the other half. Well, I'm really helping mama because mama did much more than help. But I can't sit no more and have nobody else ask me like what's going on with you. The only thing going on with me is stress and not taking care of self. Stop letting the world give you this crazy ass narrative. You know, the world will keep telling you, the news and everything else will tell you that we all gonna die, and a lot of Christians are coming around telling you that God is coming back. I just want to be honest with y'all. Like, yes, God is gonna eventually come to this earth, but I'm sorry, I've been hearing this since I was 8 or 9 years old, bro. I don't think God's gonna come next year. I don't think the world gonna come to an end next year. I'm just sorry. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think when the world comes to an end, I'm gonna be been gone so long. People spin the narrative of fear to keep you not doing what you need to do, to keep you locked down, to keep you sad, to keep you confused, unhappy, to keep you depressed. It's damn near the Eeyore. Do this damn near like a Eeyore type mentality. Don't let people. That's not how you personally think. You know, like if you don't wake up in the morning and think the cup is half empty, stop letting people tell you shit that ain't true. You know, good news allegedly don't sell no papers. So if good news don't sell no papers and good news don't get no views, you can't just keep watching the news and let that be the only shit you watch. You're going to have to go and actually look for the good stuff. It's a lot of good people in this world. A lot. And there's a lot of good things happening in this world. You might have to actually go look for it. You might have to be it in your area. And you need to be expecting it. You expecting bad shit gonna keep happening. I mean, can't nothing else show up but the bad shit. If that's all you expect, if that's all you call on, what else you think is gonna come? Don't let people just tell you anything, say anything. I don't let people just say anything in my presence. No, you can't. No, you cannot. Get in touch with whoever your creator is. Start having, just like I'm talking to y'all, I be talking to God. I be talking to God. I have to. I've even lost my mind by now. Have these regular conversations. What the fuck do you want for your life? Like, is this it? You really go somewhere, maybe stand in the field and be like, is this it? I get tired of hearing people say, well, this ain't never gonna happen. And I'm saying this to you and I'm saying it to me because I just had a conversation with a friend and was just like, I know God for real. I've seen God show up. I've seen miracles happen. The only thing I ain't seen no supernatural stuff happen. And Lord, I'm not asking to see it. I'm just being honest with you. It's a lot of shit already in my head. But I've seen miracles. I've seen people healed. I've seen God show up. I know when God's present. I know when other things are present that's not God, and I know when God is still standing there. I've manifested. I got to teach you how. That's the other thing. I'm gonna teach you how to do that too. So if I've done all these things and know all these things, I had another friend. Let me tell y'all. I don't know. Did we talk about this? I think we talked about this in the other live. I got the Obey. God been telling me to do this stuff for years. I think sometimes you just lie to yourself. Remember, I told you that the mind will lie to you to protect you because that's its job. And we'll dig into that. One of the books that I was reading before everything went all around talks about how the mind is set in place to protect you. So the mind will tell you, well, no, that's not going to happen because it doesn't want you to be disappointed. But let me tell you, I mean, I believe everybody on my Facebook page is over 18. And if you're not, you old enough to understand what I'm going to say. At the end of the day, whether you fully have seen a miracle of God or not, you've seen something happen that can't nobody explain, be it to you or somebody else. So if you know these things have happened, you know something's happened that you can't explain, just chuck it up to God. Try my way. Shit, you done your way all this time. Has it worked? He got you as far as he got you. And like I said, I was talking to a girlfriend. She was like, well, wait a minute. Actually, like a sister. She was like, well, what? If you know all this and you doing all this, well, do you do it on a higher level for you? Nope. Nope, I hadn't. That's why I have to come and do this with y'all. That's why I have to come and talk to y'all so that you can start to see the change. So you can understand. So it wasn't this year. It was not this year. I want to say so much has happened this year, y'all. I want to say it was last year. I'm on the bus minding my business, middle of the day. Let me take you back. So there was a time I believed that nothing could be done if I didn't do it. I kind of still believe that to some extent, you know. If you want something done, do it yourself. But I thought I could protect as long as I was present, like I guess a superhero or something. And so I get a call. I'm at work. Dang near end of the day kind of situation. It's not dark yet, but I know it was after lunch. I get a call. My little sister called me. She say, T. I say, what, babe? And for those of y'all that know my little sister, she has been very articulate since I can remember. Sometimes I look back and say, damn, we shouldn't have had that conversation, or we should have waited on this or that, because she was not mentally as old as she was educationally old. Scholastic wise, I guess you should say. She called me. She said, T, I found a gun. I said, you found a what? She said, I found a gun, T. I said, put your mama on the phone. Now, you know her mama, my mama. So, you know already I'm talking crazy. Mama, get on the phone. I think she told me a couple other things, because when my little sister get excited, she talk really fast. But I don't, especially when she was a kid, I didn't like to let her see me go off, you know. In my family, the younger you are, like from like 18 to probably 45, we some fireballs, baby. We some fireballs. We pop faster. We just pop. I can't explain it to you. I think it has something to do with our hormones, but we some fireballs. So I say, put your mom on the phone. Mama, get on the phone. I'm like, what is she talking about? So my mama say that she was down at somebody else's house. Her and my nephew, who's younger than her, and they find this firearm, or some friend took them down to the firearm. They found it. She had to leave it. She brought him home. See, and I'm gonna tell y'all right now where I don't have all the details. What I do know, it was a bullet in the chamber. I know that. I know that there were children down there, and I know my baby sister. Now, for those of you all that know me, you know how I am about my sister daughter. My sister is young enough, or I'm old enough to be her mother. So when she came, I had lost a child, and I don't know. I need to say lost a child, but I did some things that just wasn't in my best interest to keep a baby. And so when she came, I was already bonded to her. I had made some decisions about my life based on her coming to this world. And so I'm like on 10 now. Like, what are you talking about? And I don't have all the details because, like I just told you, I'm in that age demographic. I popped. I'm like, what? So my mother tried to finish, and my mother, I'm an Aries. My mother is a Scorpio. My mother also pops, but my mother, she, me popping in those age demographics is a lot of mouth. It's a lot of mouth, and it's a lot of, it's a lot of mouth. It's a lot. Oh, I don't even understand. Blah, 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 and this is bullshit. Blah, blah. But so when my mama popped, my mama just she ain't a lot of conversation. She bring her hands. That was the difference. So I say I get off the phone with her because I am mad as can be. I've made the decision that whose house she was at is gonna get towed the F off because I'm married to an officer. I'm not gonna deal with this mess. Like not my baby. I'm going off on why is my nephew and her down there? Your baby gotta turn this way. Turn over, baby. Hold on, y'all. Let me go turn that TV down.